for another team to show up. Team from Atlantis here. We've seen him put on an excellent show. Previous games, we'll see if they can do it again. Stink Bomb forcing kind of a retreat there. Stuck in a tough spot there. Going to have to push through his own structures with edits as his teammate Maestro has got a top down on his opponent stuck in the box underneath. Now's the time. You have a forced split. The window edit. More Stink Bombs.
They have to have health advantage here. And I love this. Attack from the 2 different angles.
Attack shotgun shots there.
Down onto the Reaper.
No
Will
crit
Reaper
damage.
go
Trying to push
down?
through
Nope.
every surface. Reaper's just turbo build in this situation, going to come in big.
And this is a fantastic use of the clingers. Because they now drop down, that's Double O Flower who gets exploded there. Fantastic job. If they're in 1-1-by-1, you begin to clinger them from the top now, no longer from the sides. The clingers immediately fall when they don't have a wall to climb onto. And just like that, they drop right into the box. Double O Flower has no protection. Nicely, nicely done.
On the left side, just a moment ago, it looked like a rift to go is used for somebody to escape there. Maestro dropping healing for his teammate. A blue AR, green pump, blue 6-shooter there. The 6-shooter as a swap weapon is interesting to me up close.
It's for me, it's very hit or miss. The 6-shooter.
Literally.
Yeah, well, that's true. Everything in the game is hit or miss. But it's one of those things where it's like, at times I fry, other times I don't know.
Yeah. To see here if we get an opportunity for an example of a weapon swap with 6-shooter, this would be a prime time for it. Using that glider deploy, get down to his teammate quick, gather up any loot, picks up the minis, 15 bandages, sitting on a campfire as well. If it turns into a late game situation and they're not forced into other engagements, they're in a good spot in terms of healing resources.
Oh, absolutely.
Immediately there, it looks like to the south, a team rotating towards Tilted. They're going to do the same. The zone starting to move. A minute 51.
So the rotations you can wind up playing from Kevin are nuts because you can actually go basically anywhere on the map. The thought process behind it is you land on the islands above, you shoot down and you make Kevin angry to where he begins to zap you, and when he's like on the verge of about to hitting you, you want to fly straight above him, pop that glider, and he'll just send you way up to the sky. And that lets you float anywhere on the map. Winter and Crashy, we saw them earlier on. 0 limbs for Winter. Zone beginning to close. I don't think, have we seen anyone pick up a stone yet? Here we go. There we go. And watch how far they can hit off this crater.
I mentioned this technique earlier. They're gonna reposition in a big way. Try and get in as far as they can. Cloakatifu built up around this little sports complex here, just west of Tilted, but they're not alone. Mountain Eternal. Also have Frosty and Vertnex. Multiple teams all around one soccer stadium, which means at some point a rotation is going to happen where players are most likely going to land here too, just based on the circle. Yep. It's smack dab in the middle of the next safe zone. You can see in the minimap, you can't even see an edge of the wide circle right now. It's because it's right in the middle. Teams are going to make moves here. A shot coming from above. Looks like Tifu might have gotten sniped from
I think he got hit by a bolt for 105. That's a tough hit right there.
See if he can spot the angle it came from. It looked like it came from directly like west, maybe a little bit southwest, in the top up on Viking Village.
Now remember, Make It Rain this game is worth $20,000 because we did not have a singular winner from last game. So in the next 10 seconds when Make It Rain begins, this is for double the prize money. Here it is. Who will wind up taking this home? Or will it move on again up into the finals on Sunday? Even more money on the line.
Go. 5 minutes, 20 seconds for $20,000. Cloaks, he's spamming the grenades down below just to see if he can knock some structure out, expose his opponent underneath. They're going to just keep going for it.
10 nades, my goodness. They're not even there. That last one might hit.
Got shots from the side, gets a bunch of tanks, 35. There's no shield on the target, so the call out on Eternal is definitely a get aggressive right now. No shield on the target. The trade out there, Tifu. Getting Eternal, elimination, which means a 2v1 situation now. Mountain still above them somewhere. Sounds like Tifu is in and catches him. You see in the feed there, Tifu shotgunning Mountain FPS, the second Elan, wiping that team.
And this was from very early on in the game. How Iptre got in this fight. Quick little cleanup on the little Fritz. And as we remember, in the cornfield, just how nuts it was. This is Novi and Noobtra in their original fights. Oh, did he get the res? I don't think he did.
Folks, Tfue both still alive. Looks like a second team has moved in. It's the
Kayun and
Ghost.
Sean. This is a huge battle right here between Ghost and FaZe, two of the most prominent organizations in Fortnite competition. So that's a typical way to retake the high ground. Opponent starts to break your front wall, you ramp, and then edit out the roof. But Sean spotted it right away and matches opponent's builds. The spray with the legendary, or the epic compact SMG. It's going to rip all the shield and health down off the one player. I believe the advantage right now is to the duo from Ghost.
It looked like that player caught off guard inside the box that was dropped down was Tfue, just based on the skin. We'll have to see that, though, here in a second. Just trying to do any replace. Oh, it's Cloak over there on the side. Tfue is building away. And this has become just a maze of different material types. Players trying to figure out who owns what walls in here, because there's been so many replacements of surfaces and edits that have happened. You can't necessarily tell. So at times you're going to see people these players just replacing everything that they can with their own structures. But that's fine. Look at Tfue's resources. He had over 700 wood, max brick, 400 plus metal. That's insanity.
Yep.
That much material this late in the game. I say late in the game, 58 players remaining. But yeah, that's incredibly common at this point. But he can build multiple bases. Multiple rotations can happen here. Tunnels, just establish a relocation. Big Vicious and Cookie Monster are also built up in there. I said earlier, this is going to be a target for rotation, because now on top of that, it was center of the last circle. It's the edge of this one. We have 2 minutes and 38 seconds left on the Make It Rain bonus. 6 seconds till the circle closes and we see the next location. Crashy in the feed taking out Dramas.
That edit of the ramp that lets you just kind of spot right through it is so key. Look at how much information they're getting right now, just peeking on through. Tfue and Cloaksy still just spraying. There's another elimination down on the Crashy. They're on the low ground this time around. Not used to seeing Tfue and Cloaksy in this position.
Rifle maybe going for a sneaks a
Did
grenade.
that sneak in there? Oh, just barely missed. Look at all that loot. You know how badly Tfue wants to try to make a move towards us, and here he goes. Yep, I knew it. It was only a matter of time. Does get tagged on up once they have another rift to go in their inventory. And you saw that? The heavy sniper on the ground as well. If Tfue can live through this moment,
you know he's going to go for it.
This might have all the signs of another great end game.
It's such a big utility piece for this team, too. We've seen it in the past. Multiple teams will use it as a way to bash through and surprise opponents, just catch them off guard almost immediately. The spray from what looks like, is that the gas station
Look
building?
at his materials. 3,000 mats.
Almost max.
He could build forever. They're in a brilliant position now. I don't know if they've grabbed the heavy sniper yet. I think they're waiting to potentially pop the rift to go. Heals coming on in. They're just chilling for the moment. Zone about to close. Is it rift time?
Might potentially
it absolutely
there it
is.
Coming out.
They'll grab the heavy sniper with it, and they are gone.
From the very edge of the zone, don't blame them. A good rotation moment.
This is insane.
Potentially a couple teams up top. This is a massive hillside, though.
Oh, yeah.
Which means teams are going to be forced to engage if they're caught on the bottom side of this, because we're getting very close to the moment where the circle is going to start to rotate. It's going to relocate, and so players are going to get pushed off of the side of this hill. It's going to be bad luck if it goes west at all. Anybody that's caught on the bottom of that hill is going to be in a tough spot. We have 36 seconds. The $20,000 Make It Rain bonus for the most eliminations during this time period. And if it's a tie, which we've seen eliminations, obviously you see the feed right now. If it's a tie, this carries over to the next game, the first game of Heat 2.
Oh, is that how it is?
Oh, yeah. So 30,000, which means if it makes it all the way to the grand finals, Jack, it could be an insane amount of money.
Hey, I would not mind, as Mowgli by himself just having to play the long game here. 49 players still remaining. Remember, it's that opening start, and then it all just really escalates quickly from here on out. The Make It Rain bonus is over, and now we've entered the late game, folks. Who will wind up reacting in these crazy scenarios best? It's a hillside zone. It's a mountainside zone, which these typically spell disaster for players, as the height difference is just so awkward in a lot of these battles.
If you're here at TwitchCon, if you're watching this at home, do me a favor. In 30 seconds, when this zone starts to move, There are 44 players left. You're going to want to pay the most attention to the feed because there's going to be so much happening. We won't be able to call all of it. You see in the bottom right, some third partying there as players are starting to rotate a little early. Part of the zone is still safe. Players can go for that inside the white circle, just on that northeast side, build up early. That's an opportunity to catch people rotating too. That would be a very traditional Tfue and Cloak play too, is to build up just in that spot. Literally as I'm saying it, look at their position, Jack.
Right there. Oh, they're getting launched on though, or people are gliding on them. Tfue is on the high ground of the new zone, at least for now. He's got to keep watch, though, of still that top Viking village, and the trap elimination comes on in, and he's rewarded with what he needs, some upgrades for his weaponry. You see the bandages there as well. We'll be able to get back up towards 75 HP.
Decides to not take the, there's an
can't
epic
do it yet.
Heavy shotgun in there.
Oh.
He chose that. He chose a green pump over the epic heavy shotgun.
This is a straight up build battle right now for Tfue. Looks like he's got the high ground at the moment.
Look at the speed at which they're just layering and layering and layering. And every single one of those builds is reestablished too with multiple walls and floor surfaces. Just so you can't just shoot out one piece. You have to shoot out multiple pieces.
Basically just build battled two people right there by himself. And just like that, Tfue.
66 the crit, 33.
It's back where he always
shield
is.
left.
On the highest of high ground.
Campfire, 2 minis, a full grappler, and still, we saw Tfue earlier with almost 3,000 materials, and at that point, we just saw he had burnt about 2,000 of it in amidst those fights.
How crazy
200
is that,
plus
man?
builds in a 1v2 situation as he's building up the shots down from above, still just trying to spray out. Every time, if you have the ammunition to hold down left click and knock out all these structures that opponents are putting up, you're burning through their materials and putting them in a more exposed position because they can't reinforce.
You mentioned if you have the ammo to do it, Tfue doesn't. He's down to 45 AR shots right now. So he's wasting a lot of his resources. Cloaksy's only got 80 as well. They've got to make the most of the end of this. Cloak seems like he's found his little pocket where he wants to begin to slay on out from. Falls back in for the launch pad to take it to the next zone. Frizzable stuck down low. Shots coming in from all different areas. Going to go for the high ground, the quick floor above, and the nice edit at least gets off that low ground for the moment as he'll look to reset.
Korea Nibs, we watched win the last round. Good swap there on Frosty. The shots from Korea gets a double there on Frosty and Vertnex, putting him at 2 eliminations. If Nibs has even one, that's a single point.
Frizzable can't get out. He's took so much damage.
Fast enough, though, to still rotate in. 12 HP, 50 shield. Frizzable taking shots at players that are in the middle of engagements, hoping he can get anything off.
Go.
And he just waited.
Waited way too long. The zone takes him down. Now down to just 19 players left. Tfue and Cloaksy both still alive. Cloaksy only with 62 HP in total. Nice job blocking those shots at the moment. The next zone about to begin now, as it looks like Tfue's in another build battle. And you see, in this build battle, Cloaksy stops for a second to try to help knock down his opponent, to give Tfue any help he can get in that engagement. They're back on the high ground again, and Cloaksy's turn now to take this role and just shoot down on any unsuspecting enemy. Like this.
What a shot. X's from Trouble Boys goes down.
They're
to Tfue's
always
shotgun.
up top. It is nuts, man. They are always one layer above. Look at this.
There we go, the top down. The advantage there is so substantial because as players are building up to try and get a height advantage mid-fight, if Tfue and Cloak already have it, 5 players left. Bravo and Barnall just going down the zone there.
Villix and Jaganza, I believe, at the high ground now. That should be
Tfue.
Tfue.
The knock on Tfue, which means it's up to Cloak.
6 grenades. Oh, good luck.
The chance here. Only a little bit. 10 builds left for
Not
Villix.
a lot of mats.
Dropping grenades in, just anything. You notice he's dropping them ahead of a potential rotation in an effort to try and predict where his opponent's going to move to. Not throwing them directly at it. Villix,
Tfue and Cloaksy down.
Nanolite gets the Elam there. There we go. Villix, Jaganza. Redemption for the 1 HP. Redemption.
The game said,
feel good there.
You know what? 1 health last game. You nearly got it. This one, they get the victory royale, and just like that, they most likely stamp their ticket to Sunday as well. Brilliant stuff from them. That concludes the action here from Heat number 1. Down to the wire, some of those games. That one was really as clean as it gets. Once they got the high ground, it was 2 of them. You saw Tfue and Cloaksy were stuck on low ground with not much health. Nanolite all by himself. You really can't expect much.
We saw a number of times these players take